You know what, guys? This particular phone right here, this phone is blowing up. What do I mean? Like, I'm getting calls and texts and SMSs and WhatsApp, people asking me, Joseph, please talk about a company called Cyton. Well, of course, on my social media, of course, I never talk about companies, obviously. But you guys, you're telling me, hey, because you guys, you gave me a name, now you're calling me a money market fund ambassador or something also. You've been asking me, Joseph, please say something about this company. We are seeing it on the social media. We are seeing it on the mainstream media. Something is going on. Say something. What's going on? Is the money market fund safe? Is it on a crisis and whatever? And you can see the title, what I've said, the Cyton money market fund crisis, quote unquote. What exactly happening? Because 14 billion is gone. By the way, you must have been seeing some, circulars going rounds and virals of people actually condemning the former CEO or the CEO of the Cyton and what. Fine. What is going on? So today on this video, I'm gonna say it step by step. And by the way, guess what? On my social media, I usually use the simplistic language, the layman's language, so that you understand. Because you're telling me, Joseph, I have money market fund there. Is my money safe? At the end of this video, I'm gonna answer that question of what is going out there. So all what you need to do is sit back. Make sure that you hit the like button. Yeah. Hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe to this channel because I upload a video each and every day containing or pertaining anything related to investment. And my ears are always open to listen what is going on. Okay. Now, what exactly is going on? Okay. Cyton is one of the biggest companies we have here in Kenya that offers money market funds. So in some few days, or let me even say, actually, you people, you've noticed in days, we noticed that in like years ago, like 3 years ago or something also, there have been some crises here and there. Okay. Now, the point is this, what is going on? See, there are people who invested there, and where did they invest? Now, listen, Cyton is a big company. First of all, Cyton is a PLC. It's a public listed company. Cyton, it's actually called Cyton Investment Management, which is a PLC. It's a big company. And any big company has some other things inside, has a lot of things. For example, if you go to any typical company, for example, if you go to an insurance company, they offer normal insurance, they offer life insurance, they offer money market funds, bond fund, bill, what we call it, the equity funds and what have you. So the same case applies to the Cyton one, okay? Now, first of all, is Cyton regulated? Yes, Cyton itself is regulated. It's money market fund regulated? Yes, it is regulated by the Capital Market Authority of Kenya. But what is this that people, quote unquote, lost their money that are claiming their money back, of which they have the right? Now, listen to this, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. I always come here and tell you, please, before you even open an account of any given company, always read the terms and conditions. But most of you guys, you never even read about that. You go invest in a company, don't even know even the CEO. You people, you don't want to read. Now, listen here. What happened some years back, Cyton came up with a certain product. And this product was actually aiming at getting people's money, obviously, and investing. It was a noble product. It was a noble idea. Okay? So what they used, and they have done some particular project and they are successful. So what happens is that they came up with a particular product within the company. And then what they did, that product used to collect people's money or investors. Let me not use the people's money because to collect people's money sounds a bit harsh. Yeah? Investor. So they get the money and then they invest in the real estate. And one of the product was called Cyton High Yield Solutions. And listen here, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. It was an LLP, meaning it's a limited liability. It was an isolated product from the mother, Cyton Investment Management. I want you to get that. So that LLP, that is CHY, that is Cyton High Yield Solution, as a separate entity with another one called Cyton Real Estate Project Notes. Again, it was an LLP, limited liability product. What does it mean? It means you can only sue the company. You cannot sue the individual. You can sue the company. Limited liability, it means like, let's say Joseph, Ken, and Meshach starts a company and we call it XY Limited Company. So if you had a deal as an individual with that XY, which is owned by me, Kevin, and Meshach, and if the company goes down with your money, you cannot sue me. You can only sue the company. The liability is limited to the company, not me. And that's why most of the wealthy people, they usually use this kind of investment, blah, blah, blah. I'll make a whole video dedicating that. I said I'm going to use the simple language. So people are investing here. And this high yield solution were promising ups of 18% per annum. Okay, 18% per annum. That's why I always tell people, please be always cautious when you are promised high returns. And are these products money market fund? No, they are not money market fund. For those who are asking me the question, the money market fund in Cyton is still intact. This is not money market fund. This money that is quote unquote lost of 14 billion, it is not in a money market fund. These are separate entities, and these entities are not regulated by the CMA, so to speak, CMA. Meaning you may not be able to, it's not regulated. And again, it's a separate entity. It's a separate legal entity from the mother company. Did you get what I'm saying now? So for those who have invested on a money market fund in this company called Cyton, the money market fund is regulated and it's safe and it's doing well. It's continuing. And remember one thing, I have not been paid by any company. I'm not an agent of any company. I'm just telling you the way it is. Are we together? Are we moving on well? So the money market fund is separate from these two. Money market fund is just a single product in this. We have other like bond fund, bill, equity fund, whatever. But this one has two separate entities that they engaged in real estate. Okay, I'm not going to discuss like what happened for them to be where they are today. There are a lot of theories that can explain that. They went into the real estate, investment. They started their project. The COVID-19 came. Then they claim the money is not there to finish the project so that they can resell the project and give the high yield they promised and what have you. So there's some kind of other crisis. There are other speculations of which I don't want to move there. I'm just relying on what I'm hearing from the courts and from the legal people. And of course, I consult my guys who understand these things, company registrations and what have you, those who did, because I do have my own research team and what have you. So those are the things, okay? So I'm going to pick that what is on the public. I'm not going to do my own investigations and what, or sort of proposals and what have you. So this is exactly where people invested. And because the project where they were investing, being promised 18% on the real estate, then the project stalled. Of course, when the project stalled, let me say this, when the project stalls, it cannot be sold. And if it cannot be sold, neither can it be liquidated. Did you get what I'm saying? So the money is there. It's like you start your own project. Let's say you're building a house, and then you reach a particular place, you cannot finish it. Well, of course, you can't bring it down, because even if you bring it down, you would get your money back. So the project is just somewhere hanging. So what happens? You're not liquid. You simply have a project that is not finished, but people want their money back. Where do you get the money? Maybe probably liquidate other project that you've already finished or something of sort. So that is kind of a crisis that they are on right now. And that's why you find the investors, close to 4,000 investors who invested on this, okay? Bearing in mind they targeted high-end net worth individuals who have quite of a good money. I think people are investing, apps of 1 million and above or something of sort when they were actually, campaigning for these products and what have you. So anyway, should I say, was it a bad idea? It wasn't a bad idea. I think what happened along the way, there was maybe a miscalculations, or maybe some sort of act of God, or maybe something just happened, because I do sign contracts with companies, when I do advertise them or something of sort. And of course, one section of the company or section of the agreement, it says that, let's say, and God forbid, Joseph doesn't cease within the duration where we've done okay, for example, let's say you sell this pen, you approach me, tell me, hey, Joseph, take this pen, advertise when you're making your video. And then along the way, I do not exist. I'm gone. So, that's a natural cause. You cannot really sue some. It just happened. You cannot foresee it. So that is always captured on the agreement. Now, this is why I always tell people, please, don't be just lured on the interest, because most of you guys, you're just concentrated on the interest. What am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? Sometimes you even overlook, what am I getting myself into? First of all, you could have checked it's an LLB, or LLP, that is a limited liability. Other thing you could have checked is this particular project that they are giving us, is it regulated? Because they know very well, most of the companies that we have in Kenya, is that whenever you talk about getting or giving people high returns, people tend to jump into that particular investment. And they also understand one thing. I discovered one thing when I am actually getting into the deals with different companies. When they write that particular agreement, they make it too long and too boring, such that when you read it along the way, you get bored. But always read between the lines, because that's where the information is. So if you could have read all the terms and conditions, probably that could have actually saved you, because you could know, because most of you guys are actually confusing and are saying it's it's a money market fund. No, it's not a money market fund that is on crisis on Cyton. No, it is a different product. Okay, the MMF is still there, is still kicking, and is still moving on. Okay, this is our own company here in Kenya, but they're on crisis as far as these particular things are concerned. And of course, I wouldn't advise fund managers to take money and invest in areas where are a bit risky in the name of promising people high returns and what have you. So it is good when you understand that. For example, let's dissect the case of a money market fund. By law, because they are regulated by Capital Market Authority of Kenya, money market fund, if I'm not wrong and I stand corrected, you can put that on the comment section. Money market fund, they are not supposed, when they collect your money and they tell you, or when you invest in a money market fund, they collect people's money, they aren't supposed to invest in real estate. By the way, money market fund, they invest. And this is what I want you to listen very carefully. Hold your ear like this. I want you to understand these Kenyans, or whoever is watching. Money market fund, by law, they are supposed to invest in 3 areas. A, they are supposed to invest in something called, so that I dispel these discrepancies and whatever you guys are saying. Number 1, they are supposed to invest in something called the treasury bills. Are we together? I will explain why. 2, they are supposed to invest in something called FDS. FDS, that is fixed deposit or highly negotiated fixed investment or something. And number 3, something called commercial paper. Commercial paper. Why? I want you to see this. By law, money market fund, if I'm not wrong, I think they are not supposed to invest in something that is going beyond 1.8 years. Is it 1.8 or 1.5? 1.8 to 1.5 years. Kindly, we'll confirm that, okay? They are not supposed to invest in something that goes beyond this. So that's why you find money market fund that money they collect may not invest in things like bonds. Even if it has high good returns like IFB, that money from the bonds cannot go and invest in like for 17 years, for 16 years. Why? Because by law, money market fund, they're supposed to keep you liquid at any given time. That's why they throw the money into the treasury bills, goes for a maximum of 1 year, then you become liquid, something of sort. Because basically what happens is that when they go for a longer period of time, they may have what we have, how can I frame this one now? Using the simplest language. When you have a lot of people asking you the money vis-a-vis the available money that you have, you get what I'm saying. So, but now some of these companies, and this is the problem of people not going for the integrity issues. Some of them, you find that they are investing in other areas. You find they're into commodities, they're into something else, they're into metals, they're into wheat, they're into oil, they're into whatever. And then now they are framing that particular product as a money market fund and they're selling it out there. You see, that kind of a thing, you really need to understand. Money market fund, they invest. Okay, there's some cases of bonds. Let me just involve bonds here, just for the sake. Because bonds in Kenya, they usually start from 1 year all the way to 30 years. So for instance, let's say there is a bond like for 1 year, 1.5 years, of which they are rare, but they can happen. Let's say there is a cycle of a bond, then of course, this fund manager can actually throw that MMF money into that particular thing. For example, if you go to something else called fixed deposit or fixed investment or fixed something, that one, by law, they can go for even longer period. That's why you find that the fixed investment, maybe that one, you are likely, it's not always the case, but you are likely to get more returns because you are giving them a little bit of a longer period for them to invest your money. So please, these are 2 different things that we are talking about. What have I even said since I started? Let me make it clear. Where this money is or where these people invested, it's not an MMF. It's quite of a different, isolated legal entity. Are we together? So then that means if there are different things and they were not regulated and they are limited liability companies, although I bet as I'm making this video, I'm making this video on 30th of September, I heard that the court has actually ordered the liquidation of some properties and assets, and they have invested in various places like Kilimani, Alma, Rivera, Namara, Althi, River, whatever. They did an amazing job in some of these particular bits, and they have actually succeeded. It's only maybe along the way there was a glitch. Maybe they didn't foresee some things, maybe there was some miscalculations, and maybe there are some other many factors that comes in. I'm explaining this so that to educate you to understand such cases happens. For example, you can start a company, you can start a project, and then things goes south. The thing that I pray for is that people get back their money, and you who is here, who has not even invested in anything, to always make sure that you do the research, you read all those terms and conditions of any agreement you're getting into or any investment that you're getting yourself into so that you not get yourself in such kind of scenarios. So what is the parting shot? The MMF on the Cyton is still intact. It is not the one that is being affected. These are different entities. It's one of the satellite investments options that are given by this company out there. Well, I bet I was a bit clearer and a bit fair to both of you viewers and the company itself, because these are our companies here in Kenya, and we should make sure that at least we don't throw stones to any other, because I don't want them to come to me telling me in Kenya we say kuharibia jina, sijawaribia jina. I'm just discussing what is going there, and I've not discussed anything beyond what is offered on the public domain, on the courts and something of sort. So I have to give that disclaimer that I've discussed that is what is on the public domain and that is what is on the court, because I was following up on those cases and what have you. And not just today, for the like couple of years I've been listening to that, and you guys have been coming to my DMs. And the reason why am I talking about this? I talk about investments and what have you, and guys are asking me what might be going on. So if maybe you're watching this video and you're one of the investors on this particular company, well, if court has actually ordered the liquidation of the properties, then all we to do is to just wait and see if they, and of course they should, give back the money that people had invested. Okay. And again, please be informed. When you invest on money market fund, this is the areas where they invest. If you get into the real, for example, if you invest in something like rates, we all know rates, they invest on real estate. So you have to understand that. It comes with own, should I say, risk, particular risk and something of sort. If you go the fixed income, if you go the equity funds, if you go to something like bond fund, it's good to know where your money is going. And again, please, Kenyans, I'll leave you with two things. Number one, learn to read the terms and conditions. Number two, do not always be fooled by, or do not, let me not use the term fooled, do not always be attracted by just interest only. Consider some other factors so that you know where you're getting your money into. And again, for those who have money market fund on Cyton, it is still intact and it's not affected on these matters that are going on. Thank you very much, and I hope I made sense on that. And maybe perhaps you would like your call to pop on this video, or rather this phone. You can always go ahead and pick my number on the description of this specific video. You can shoot me a call for premium services. Be informed, I do charge for my services, but the good thing is they're quite affordable for just a cup of coffee's price. And if you need my booklet about money market, for example, if you do not know much about the MMF, I have a booklet. It's only 280 bob. It covers all these things. It explains to you what is an MMF, where do they invest, and how it goes about. Pick that copy, get yourself a copy. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.